So I'm sitting in the studio just trying to get to you.
Hey guys, so today I wanted to do something like fun. Well, not fun, but like something different. And I always say I want to do something different, and it's been a while. So I wanted to do a story time. Because my life's pretty boring, so I don't really have a lot of like story time. So today I'm going to tell you the story about how I almost got charged with terroristic threats. So here's what happened. So at the time, I was a good kid. Like, I was such a good kid. Like, I never smoked, I never drank, I never did anything because I was just like, not only was I scared, but like the people that I hung out with never really did stuff like that, so I never did stuff like that. So anyways, it's the 4th of July, and at this time, this was the time when like me and the boyfriend that I had at that time were like breaking up or whatever, and it was just going all bad and this and that, blah blah blah. So let me tell you what happened. So, it's the 4th of July of 2014, and I'm like, you know what, I never do anything fun. I was like, you know what, I was like, fuck it. I was like, I'm gonna get drunk because I never have been drunk. Like, at that time, I was never drunk. I was never high. I've never been, like, you know, not sober in my entire life up until, like, July 4th, 2014, summer. So it was the 4th of July, and I had my best friend Jayla over. Shout out to you, bitch. And that day, I was just like, I don't know, me and the boyfriend that I had we were just like, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it, because we weren't together, but we weren't like broken up. But it was just, there was so much like tension and like dislike. Like, I didn't want him to come over, but he like was insisting to come over, so I didn't want to be mean and say no. So I said that he could come over. I said that him and his sister could come over. So I was like, all right, cool, let me ask my grandma. I asked my grandma if they can come over, and she was like, yeah, whatever, they can come, but tell them not to come till later, like when we do the fireworks. So I was like, cool. So I'm sitting there, and throughout the day, I'm just, you know, chilling with my best friend Jayla. We're just, you know, I wasn't drinking at this point, and I wanted to do something fun. You know, I thought I was cool, so I bought fucking gummy bears, and I put them in alcohol, and I didn't even eat them because they were nasty as fuck. But yeah, so I soaked the gummy bears in the day, and it gets around, like, it's starting to get dark, and so I'm like, all right, cool. So my mom was like, yeah, I mean, you can drink. I mean, I was gonna be with my family. That's the only reason why I really was like so adamant about drinking, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be with my family, I'm gonna be protected, nothing bad's gonna happen to me. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not, you know, get drunk. It's not like, you know, it's not a big deal. Everybody my age drank and smoked and did all this crazy shit, and I never had. So I was just like, okay, cool. So it's nighttime, and I have drank alcohol before, but I've never been drunk. So I was just sipping, and we were drinking 99 bananas. Why the fuck would my mother do that to me? I don't know why. But it's like, no, I'm kidding. But okay, so we were drinking 99 bananas, and I was just, you know, taking shots because I didn't know anything about alcohol. Like, I didn't know that there were shots and mixed drinks and beer and this and that. Like, I knew, but I didn't know, like, you know, I wasn't that smart. So I was just, you know, drinking the liquor straight by itself. Like, every like 2 minutes I would take like a little sip or whatever, and then chase it with some juice, some cranberry juice or something. And, you know, I wasn't really feeling it. I was like, all right. I was like, I'm not gonna get drunk, because I tried to get drunk before. I mean, I drank before, but I've never been drunk before. That's what I meant to say. So I was drinking, and I'm chilling. I'm like, oh, this is about to be fun. Because first of all, I didn't even want the dude there and his sister. Like, I didn't even want them there. I just wanted to have fun with my friend, and he insisted on coming over, so they just both came over. So anyways, we're chilling, and he's there, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, let's say the girls, okay, my boyfriend, we're gonna call him Jimmy, and his sister, we're gonna call her Susan. Okay, so me and Jimmy are chilling, and me and Jimmy and my BFF Jayla, we were just, you know, like sitting there lighting fireworks and shit. And so we're chilling, it's all cool, whatever. I'm like, oh, you know, it might not be that bad. So, at this point, we didn't have, like, my family has always been, like, even if they don't have money, they still do what they can for their family. So like that year we didn't have any like big extravagant fireworks, because we used to always buy the fireworks that like shot up in the air and that were beautiful and this and that, blah blah blah. But that year we didn't have enough money to get fireworks, so we just had like little like sprinklers and shit like that. Like, I mean, we had fireworks, but they weren't like the big fucking nice ones. And, you know, we just got them for my little nephew, because he was only 2, so, you know, like, we just got him some fireworks, you know. They were basically for him, like, they weren't really for us. It was just so that he could have a good 4th of July. So, we're chilling, and what's her name? Susan is like, these fireworks are whack. I looked at her like, bitch, first of all, you're here because you don't fucking have fireworks, so, like, this is what I was thinking. I didn't actually say it, but they didn't even have fireworks. That was the point of them coming. Like, they came, so, you know, like, their mom didn't do shit for them, so they came over so that they could have fun and have fireworks. Like, bitch, you should be fucking grateful that you're even here right now, because you can fucking bitch the door. So anyways, I'm at that point, like, back then, I was one of them people that, like, didn't say anything to anybody about anything. Like, I was not confrontational at all. Like, when people would say shit to me, I would just, like, brush it off or pretend like I didn't hear it, or if somebody would call me something, like, I would die inside, but, like, I never said anything to anybody. Like, I just, like, when I heard her say that, I was just, like, confused, like, why the fuck would she say that? But I never said anything. I didn't even say anything to Jill, because I was just, like, whatever. Like, I was just, I don't know. I was just, I guess, not, I wouldn't say I was scared, but it was just, like, I didn't really know how to argue with people back then or something. I don't know, but anyways, yeah. So she says that, and I'm like, oh, fuck this. I was like, I'm not about to do this all fucking night, because they were people that were like, I don't know, they were just so negative about everything, and thank the Lord that they're not in my life anymore, but they were just so negative about everything, and like, everything, like, they were never happy with what they had. Like, they were never happy with anything. So anyways, enough about them. So Susan makes that little comment. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, you know what, time to get drunk, because I was sipping on the drinks earlier, but I wasn't, you know, like, I wasn't actually, like, drinking, I guess you could say. So I start, like, chugging this fucking bottle, like, not even drinking from a cup anymore. I start, like, drinking. And then, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not getting drunk. Like, I swear it took forever for me to get drunk. Like, it had to have taken, like, an hour for me to feel this, because I was drinking, not, like, a heavy amount, but it was a lot for somebody who's never drank before, because, you know, they say that people that don't get drunk, or don't get high, like, they get drunk or high really easily the first time. So I'm like, I'm not gonna get drunk. So I was just, you know, disappointed. At that point, I was sad. I was like, if they're gonna be here, I want to have, like, I just want to have fun. Like, I'm not dealing with them. And people say that when they're drunk, they just, you know, like, it just, you know, they don't give a fuck about anything. So I just wanted to be drunk at that point. So I'm like, Jayla, come to the bathroom with me. She's like, all right. So we go upstairs to the bathroom, and upstairs I have this little cup, like, red Solo cup, and it has, like, a bottle of just straight liquor in it. So I'm like, Jayla, I'm like, listen, we gotta drink this shit before they find out, like, because I didn't think that they were gonna leave until the fireworks were done, but they ended up leaving before. But anyways, I didn't think they were gonna leave till the fireworks were done, so I was like, if they're gonna be here, I have to be drunk. Like, you have to get me drunk, because Jayla was a drinker, and she's a drinker. Like, that's my drinking bitch. Like, she drank way before I did, but she's older than me, so whatever. So anyways, before this all started, I told Susan that she could sleep over. Like, I wanted Susan and Jimmy to sleep over, because they always slept over. So I was like, alright, yeah, Susan, Jimmy, like, you can come to my house after. They were gonna come home with us, and they were gonna sleep over, right? So I was like, oh my god, why did I tell them that they could fucking sleep over? I don't want them to sleep over, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, we're upstairs in the bathroom, loud as fuck, literally cracking up, drinking, cracking fucking jokes, like, and we hear somebody, like, knock on the bathroom door, and I'm like, hold on, blah, 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 because I thought it was, like, my family member or something. So we're sitting there cracking up, talking about drinking liquor and stuff, and I open the door, and it's Jimmy, and I'm like, oh, Jimmy, like, what's up, nigga? And he's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So I was like, hold on, Jayla gotta go to the bathroom. Close the door, I drank the rest of my drink, we go downstairs, Jimmy goes to the bathroom, whatever. I'm downstairs, we're outside in the backyard, we got this little fire pit going for the 4th of July, because we always have the fire pit going for, like, 4th of July, like, whenever we have, like, little bonfires and shit, just back in the backyard. Around the bonfire, I was roasting marshmallow, okay? So, first time ever being drunk, okay? I was roasting marshmallow on the skewer, whatever. So I'm sitting there roasting, minding my fucking business, roasting this marshmallow. You know, looking at the marshmallow, admiring the marshmallow because I was hungry as fuck. So I'm sitting there roasting the marshmallow and I hear this big explosion. And I look up in the sky and it's this beautiful, like, fucking purple and pink firework, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so pretty. Like, I looked up at it, and as soon as I looked at this fucking firework, that fucking shit hit me like a pile of fucking bricks. Let me tell you, when I tell you I looked at this firework, like, I looked at it and it just, like, it was like the whole fucking sky did like a 360. Like, the whole fucking sky started spinning and I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, I thought that I got dizzy or something because I didn't know what being drunk felt like because I was never drunk before. So I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on? Like, am I dying? Like, I almost fell in the fire. I dropped my fucking marshmallow and I start cracking up. So I'm cracking up because, like, when I drink now, it's just like, I'm just in such a good mood. Like, when I drink, I'm in such a good fucking mood. So I'm drinking, that happens. Jayla's sitting over there on the steps outside in the backyard, and I walk over to her and I'm like, Jayla, and she's like, what? And I was like, I'm drunk, don't tell anybody. But I didn't know that I was being loud. Like, I didn't know that I was talking loud, but I thought I was whispering because, like, everything's off when you're drunk. Your depth perception, everything. You're louder than what you think you are. Things are closer and further than what you think they are, blah, blah, blah. So I'm drunk at this point now, right? So at this point, Susan is in my grandma's house arguing with whoever she was with at the time, whoever her boyfriend was or whatever. She's in there arguing, and Jimmy, he was sitting over by himself. I was sitting with Jayla on the steps. Jimmy is over there by himself. So, fuck. Susan was in there arguing with her boyfriend on the phone, and I'm like, Jayla, I don't want Susan to sleep over. I want you to sleep over, saying it all loud and shit. And I didn't realize how loud I was saying it. And she was like, shh, you gotta be quiet, you gotta be quiet. So I'm like, all right, okay, whatever. And so they ended up leaving. Thank the Lord, they ended up leaving. They did not end up sleeping over. And that was the end of that. That was the end of them. They ended up leaving before the fireworks were over, so it worked out perfectly. So anyways, at this point, I'm just fucking loud and belligerently drunk. Everybody's cracking up at me because it's my first time being drunk. So let me fast forward through all the funny shit, like, all this shit happened, we're, you know, roasting marshmallows, you finish the fireworks, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, me and my Aunt Jenna, she has this guy that, like, I don't even know what happened between them. She wasn't dating him or anything, I don't think, but it was just funny, like, I don't know, they got into an argument or something. So she was like, Malika, she was like, you want to do something funny? So I started prank calling all these people. Like, I was prank calling all these people. I had liquid courage. I started prank calling all these people, talking shit, doing this and that, blah, 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 whatever. So she's like, listen, the last prank call. I was like, all right, what is it? Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. She's like, okay, she's like, there's this dude, blah, blah, blah. He was talking shit on me, this and that, blah, blah. She was like, well, you prank call him from your block number. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, give me that number. I'll fucking call him. So I called him, and at the time, he worked, like, we knew where he worked, because I met him before, but I didn't actually know him. Like, I've seen him before, but I never hung out with him, I never knew him. So she was like, call him and tell him this and that, blah, blah. So I called him, and it was his voicemail. It wasn't even him, it was his voicemail I picked up. And I'm telling him this and that, blah, 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 this and that, blah, talking shit. This was like a fucking, literally, probably like a 5-minute voicemail that I left this dude. And she's like, tell him you're gonna come to his job and shank him in the neck. So I was like, I'm gonna come to your fucking job and I'm gonna shank you in the neck and blah, 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 blah. Talking shit, whatever. I hang up. You know, it's all fucking fun and giggles and this and that. I hang up. Okay, it's done. Whatever. That was my last prank call. So, they call my aunt's friend's phone. We didn't even use his phone to, like, prank call. I don't know how they got his fucking number. I don't know what, like, we thought it was fake because, okay, anyways, he got a call from the police and, like, it was like 2 towns over. It was like 30 minutes away to get to this town. And, because that's where the dude lived that I prank called. That's where he lived. So, they're like, yo, this is the police. We just got somebody calling saying that you prank called them, threatening to shank them in the neck, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And we're thinking that it's one of the guy's friends that's trying to scare us because like, how did they get his number? You know, like, how did they get my aunt's friend's number? Like, we didn't even use his phone. So we just thought it was kind of weird. So we were like, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So at this point, I was not 1 year out of high school. I just graduated in June of that year. June 2014, I graduated. July 2014 was, this is when this all happened. So it was like 2 weeks after graduating. And I was on a dance team when I was in high school. And this dance team wanted me to go to this camp with them because they go to a camp every year. And at this camp, you know, you do dances, this and that, you do competition, and you win prizes and shit like that. That I did last year, that I did that year when I was in high school. And before the other people graduate, they already have a new team. So they had a new team, and I helped with practice and stuff like that. So they were like, yo, you want to go to the camp with us? So I was like, yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah. I was ready to go to the camp. I was all packed and everything, blah, blah, blah. I was excited as fuck. I was ready to go. And so I go home, I go to sleep. It's like 3 a.m. on the 4th of July. 3 a.m. and my mom calls me. She's like, yo, there's people, I guess the police called my mom, the police called my aunt, the police called everybody, like, in my family, trying to get a hold of us because we never went to the police station that night because they told us that night that we had to come in, and if we didn't, then I was going to jail or some shit. So I got scared as fuck, but I didn't think it was real. I was like, oh, they were like, oh, it's nothing because, you know, how did they get his number? How did they know? I was like, all right, you're right. You know more than I do. I was like, okay. I went home and go to sleep. I'm ready to go to this camp in the morning. 3 a.m. I wake up. My mom's like, yo, tomorrow, or she's like, listen, right now we have to get up. We have to go to the police station. If we don't go right now, they said that they're gonna charge you with terroristic threats and they're gonna arrest you. So I was like, yeah, all right. So I was like, I'm not trying to get arrested. So we get up and we go. So I can't remember if it was that night or if it was the next day, but I remember going at nighttime. So I don't remember if it was that night or if it was the next day at nighttime. I don't know. But anyway, so we'll say it was that night. I get up, I go. We go there. And they're literally fucking interrogating us. Like, they interrogated my aunt, they interrogated me, and they're like, do you know the guy? I was like, no, I seen him before, I've met him, shook his hand and shit, but I don't know him. And she was like, or the police person, whatever the fuck, the police guy was like, oh, well, you know, you can get in trouble for this. If he wants to press charges, you're gonna get charged with terroristic threats, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Now, at this time, I was already accepted into nursing school. So if I would have got charged with this, I would have not been able to go to nursing school. Even though I fucking hated it, and I graduated from it and didn't do shit with it because I fucking hate it. So kudos to all you nurses out there because I can't do that shit. Even though, like, at that time, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know that. Like, I thought I was gonna love nursing school. So I was like, oh my god, I'm, like, this thing's gonna ruin my fucking life. Like, just because of a prank call, this is gonna ruin my life. Like, I'm not gonna be able to go to nursing school. I'm gonna have a fucking terroristic threats charge. Like, I'm gonna, like, everybody's gonna look at my record and be like, this bitch got charged with terroristic threats. Like, do you know how fucking bad that would have looked if he would have fucking pressed charges? So anyways, I'm like, oh my god, alright. So we're at the police station, we're sitting there. He calls my aunt to talk to her. He calls me to talk to him. Or we keep switching back and forth, talking to the police officer or the investigator. And, you know, my aunt feeds him this sob story like, oh, we're trying to go to nursing school and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I start crying, and I'm just sitting there like, I mean, I cared, but like, I cared. Like, I cared, but I wasn't about to sit there and fake cry. So she's like, oh my god, we're not gonna be able to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you what the fuck happened. So anyways, he ended up not charging us with terroristic threats. Why? He would go through all the fucking trouble just to be like, oh, never mind, it's beyond me. I don't know why he would do that. But yeah, I don't know why he would do that. That was pointless. But anyways, so we didn't end up getting charged with terroristic threats, but that is how I almost got charged with terroristic threats. And he ended up dropping everything. I never got charged with anything. I didn't get charged with anything at all, like nothing at all. And now the store that he works at, I'm not allowed in there. I'm not allowed near his home, which I don't even know why they said that, because I don't fucking know where he lives. I'm not allowed to contact him ever again in my life or some shit like that. I'm not allowed into that store because of that. Like, I'm not allowed by him. I'm not allowed near him. This and that, blah blah blah. Like, really? So yeah, I'm not allowed like within 100 feet or so. I'm not allowed in his vicinity. Like I can't even fucking, I don't know, some shit like that. But anyways, yeah. So that is how I almost got charged with terroristic threats. So I guess, you know, she just did it to scare me, but honestly, I didn't even know the guy. It was just like, if it weren't for her putting the number in my phone and dialing it and giving me the phone, I would have never said it. Because all the people that I was prank calling, people were like, oh, you should prank call this person. Like, I wasn't like, oh, let me prank call him, let me prank call her. They just told me to prank call, which, I mean, I shouldn't have listened, but I mean, I was under the influence, which everybody makes a little bit of a mistake in their life, so. That was my mistake. I don't really have too much of a life or too many story times, but I have a couple more that I can think of. So if you guys like this video, make sure you thumbs up and you share it. And you are. Hopefully I have more story times for you guys, but I don't know about that. I don't really have too many memories. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you, I don't know what video I'm gonna do next. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope that you guys are still subscribed to my channel, because I haven't been on lately. I work so much. I literally work every fucking day. Every day. No lie. Every day. I have 2 days off a week sometimes. Maybe 2 days, but that's it. But anyways, I'm peacing out.